Step into the shadowy world of the Mafia, where power and loyalty reign supreme. But be warned, the life of a mobster is not for the faint of heart. With danger lurking around every corner, one wrong move could mean a one-way ticket to the graveyard. Are you ready to join the ranks of the feared and respected Mafia? Enter at your own risk. But one lady stood beyond the rest in the nightmare of the world, who even claimed the nickname Godmother. This ain't nothing to do with the fairy godmother. Welcome to the channel, to the world of everything related to the global underworld. Let's learn more by diving in. Ready? Let's go. The term mafia is used informally to denote criminal groups that are strikingly similar to the Sicilian mafia, the original mafia or Cosa Nostra. Such a group's main function would be to organize and enforce illegal agreements between criminals by the use of violence or the threat of it, as well as to arbitrate disagreements amongst criminals. Mafias frequently partake in ancillary pursuits, including prostitution, loan sharking, prostitution, gambling, and drug trafficking. Mafia have been governed by men for generations, but somewhere along the way ferocity grew amongst the ladies, and they too began to build their legacy towards the helm. One lady stood out the most, Maria Licciardi. Maria Licciardi is the leader of the Licciardi clan, a member of the Camorra and one of the top figures in the Secondigliano alliance. Between 1993 and the time of her imprisonment in 2001, she was one of the most powerful Camorra commanders in the city of Naples. Due to her small stature, Licciardi was known among her fellow Camorristi as La Madrina, or the Godmother, and she also attained the moniker La Piccolina, or the Little Girl, early in her criminal career. Due to her reputation among Camorra women, she is referred to with respect as La Principessa. Licciardi avoided the spotlight, unlike many other male Camorristi, and was never found guilty or even suspected of committing a crime. One influential insider said she exuded a steely charisma. She was rumored to be as ruthless as her male counterparts, just as practical, charming, and incredibly clever. She allegedly took inspiration from Rosetta Cutolo, sister of Nuova Camorra Organizzata leader Raffaella Cutolo, in her cold and calculated attitude to crime. The Licciardi clan continued the long-standing custom of giving an occasional handout to the neighborhood's destitute under her leadership, and it greatly increased community goodwill. In Secondigliano, where there were no social security benefits offered by the local government and a high unemployment rate, the clan served as the neighborhood's main employer. The only journalist who had access to Maria's close circle was Lucia Licciardi, who was not related to Maria. She defined her managerial style as follows in an interview. She acts exactly like a manager of a large corporation. She constantly seeks a resolution that won't draw the attention of the police and won't lead to divisions among the clan. The minute a woman takes command of the organization, strangely, we witness a reduction of the emotional level and a greater performance of the group's activities, Judge Luigi Bobbio said in reference to Maria Licciardi. Secondigliano, a Neapolitan suburb and a longtime home of the Licciardi family, is where Licciardi was born and raised. The Camorra claimed ownership of her entire family. Her father was a guapo, or respected local boss. One of her brothers, General Licciardi, also known as Eschigna, the monkey, was a very strong guapo. He later rose to become the clan's leader and a founding member of the Secondigliano Alliance, a confederation of strong Camorra clans that oversaw extortion and drug trade in many Naples suburbs. On August 3, 1994, General passed away at the Voghera prison from blood poisoning. Antonio Tegamier, Licciardi's husband, was a member of the Camorra. After her husband and her two brothers, Pietro and Vincenzo, were detained, Licciardi gained control and succeeded her husband as the clan's leader. She was the first female Camorrista to take over as leader of the Secondigliano Alliance and the boss of the Licciardi clan. The passing of General Licciardi led to considerable unrest in the neighborhood underworld and a number of brutal takeover attempts, but Maria managed to keep the clan in check. She formed a tenuous informal alliance with 20 Camorra clans in order to gain more influence over the most profitable criminal enterprises in the city, ranging from prostitution and drug trafficking to the smuggling of cigarettes and cocaine. She was charged with terrible crimes including extortion, participation in mafia-led organizations, auction rigging, and obtaining money from unlawful sources. She is supposedly the superboss of the Licciardi clan, according to the prosecution. She was freed from prison in December 2009 after serving 8 years. Licciardi is said to hold a higher position in the family because of her husband and two brothers' arrests in the 1990s. She belonged to the Italian gangster family, the Camorra. The Camorra is a collection of criminal clans that, despite their efforts to cooperate, have a history of grisly internal warfare. They lived in Italy's Naples. She rose to prominence on the Italian police's list of the 30 most wanted criminals in the country as the head of one of the biggest Camorra groups. She also had a significant impact on the growth of the city's drug trade. The Secondigliano alliance becomes more structured, covert, smart, and hence stronger under her leadership. The clan saw several dramatic developments because, to Licciardi, the prostitution trade was perhaps the most significant of them all. The Camorra had a code of conduct before this that prohibited them from profiting from prostitution. This code was broken under Licciardi, though. For $2,000, the Camorra would purchase the women from the Albanian Mafia. Many of them came with the hope of finding legal employment to escape the extreme poverty of their native countries. But the Camorra essentially enslaved them and forced them into prostitution once they arrived. Many of these girls were minors. They were frequently given medications. This contributed to a rise in criminal activity because they frequently used a significant portion of their money to buy drugs to use themselves. In order to save the clan, Maria Licciardi tried to manage any potential effects of the numerous Pentiti's testimonies. For instance, Italian authorities learned that Pentito, Constantino Saro, saw Licciardi a few days after his escape from his safe haven to demand money in exchange for deleting statements about the clan's operations. Over this matter, the Secondigliano alliance was split. Others wanted to pay him and then kill him and his family. Others wanted to just pay him. Maria Licciardi was stopped in a car in January 1998 with her sister Assunta and her sister-in-law, and was found to be in possession of almost 300 million lira, which the prosecutors believed to be her alleged payment to him. After attorneys obtained her release, she quickly vanished into obscurity and refused to say what the money was for. Maria Licciardi's rule was peaceful for many years until a dispute occurred over a shipment of unadulterated, pure heroin. A sizable shipment of heroin from Istanbul, Turkey, came in the spring of 1999. Licciardi ruled that it shouldn't be marketed because it was too potent and pure for the average consumer, and would kill anyone who bought it, damaging the alliance's sizable drug-using clientele. The LaRusso family disagreed, though, and packaged the shipment for sale on the street. They had long resented her authority. Numerous drug users in Naples passed away as a result of the sale of the packages of unprocessed heroin. 11 of them did so in April 1999 alone. Due to the widespread public outcry that followed, the Camorra clans were the target of extensive police crackdowns. A large number of Camorristi were detained and later imprisoned. The LaRusso clan later broke away from the alliance, which resulted in division and a brutal gang war that involved car explosives and bazooka attacks. Clans started battling over territory and tried to take over or destroy other clans' businesses. Licciardi felt compelled to avenge the deaths of 4 clan members in Secondigliano, her stronghold. She organized her footmen for a full-scale defense. Nearly 120 people died in Naples and the surrounding area as a result of the vicious gang battles. Around this period, the existence of Licciardi was discovered by the investigators. After being placed to the list of the 30 most wanted Italians, Licciardi retreated into hiding. Licciardi was able to avoid capture for 2 years because of a sophisticated network of defense built up by her clan. Despite switching her hiding place frequently, she never left the Masseria Cardone neighborhood. While hiding out, she continued to rule the Licciardi clan without challenge and gave the go-ahead for multiple hit jobs on rival mob figures. Erminia Giuliano, another female boss of the Camorra, took over after her brother Luigi Giuliano was arrested, and she went to war with the Giuliano clan of Forcella. To apprehend Licciardi, the police made numerous futile attempts. 13 Camorra bosses were detained in April 2000 by the Carabinieri when they met at a table in a rural farmhouse halfway between Quagliano and Giuliano. The organization allegedly discussed how to allocate its resources among a collection of furniture and kids' clothes companies. Licciardi wasn't one of them, though. Journalists in the area gave her the nickname the Scarlet Pimpernel of Italy because of her recurrent success eluding police custody. Licciardi was detained by the Naples police on June 14, 2001, as he drove around Melito, close to Naples, in a car with a married couple. She was finally given a prison sentence despite not resisting arrest. While his wife was released, since she is the mother of a child, the man accused of helping her was also detained. Police realized she resembled the well-known mugshot of her that was published years earlier, exactly after she was arrested. She still held command of the clan despite being in prison. Prisons are not an obstacle for the Camorra. Licciardi served approximately 8 years in prison before being freed in 2009. On August 7, 2021, when she was preparing to board a flight to Spain, she was once more detained by Carabinieri at Rome's Ciampino airport at the request of the prosecutors in Naples. She was suspected of running extortion rings as the head of the Licciardi Camorra clan.